but I want to have a look at some cultural battles now that will make you tear your hair out. You've seen what has happened to my hair. Let's catch up from the Institute of Public Affairs again with Bella de Brera, who keeps an eye on these things for us. Good to talk to you, Bella. Honestly, I just thought of you today when I read the latest news that the Dr Seuss books, a whole range of them, are not going to be printed anymore because they offend people. Have you been able to work out what the problem is with If I Ran the Zoo or On Beyond Zebra or Scrambled Eggs?
Yeah, the problem is that this is cancel culture on steroids. You know, cancel culture is insidious and it's absurd, and it's particularly absurd in the US, where it's just going to new levels of extremes. So the problem with this, the latest Seuss controversy, is that it's basically critical race theory being imposed on books that were written, you know, 50, 40, 30 years ago. There was a huge range of years that Dr. Seuss produced these books. So the problem is there's depictions of Asians and Africans which are definitely outdated, whether they're probably considered racist now. But the point is, do children turn into racists if their parents read them these Dr. Seuss books? And the answer is a most definite no. Children are not aware of race until it's pointed out to them by adults. This is just ridiculous and it's absurd. And it's interesting to note that it's not the top 3 most popular Dr. Seuss books being cancelled. It's the ones that don't sell as well. So I wonder if there's something that's going on that we haven't quite figured out. But again, it's, you know, it's critical race theory, it's cancel culture, it's everything wrong with a lot of the modern world.
Yeah, and look, it goes beyond that, because you look at the Tom Sawyer books and Huckleberry Finn and some of the language used in those days. I mean, if you change it, if you either cancel the books or change the language, then you lose the whole historical perspective of that time.
You lose so much. You lose a great culture. You lose. I mean, this is the attack on the Western canon. It's now it's transferred to children's books. And the other point is that parents are discerning enough to know whether they want to read these books to their children or not. And surely this decision shouldn't be made for them by an elite, which is out of touch with mainstream America and mainstream Australia, because it turns out that the top 13 books in Amazon at the moment out of 20 books are the Dr. Seuss books, because people are just rushing to buy them. And that's not even the ones that have been cancelled. Those are all Dr. Seuss titles. So, you know, there's this massive divide that we see in Australia between the elite and the mainstream Australians, clearly the same divide in America. And it's just really damaging, and it's really dangerous. And I think this is one step away from the book burning, isn't it, really, if you think about it? It is spot on. Thanks for joining us again, Bella. Bella de Brera there all over these. She makes that great point that really it is people telling us what we ought to do, showing no faith in, of course, the judgment of parents and adults to work out what is good for their children. That's what I think, that we as adults can make these choices. We don't need the PC police to tell us what to do.